Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Happy Thanksgiving. I was absolutely not expecting to have to make this video, but China is kicking over things again. They're causing problems again on Thanksgiving evening. Leave it to Thanksgiving evening in America for China to start causing freaking problems again, okay? Folks, look at stock market futures for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a half day. Tomorrow is Black Friday. Tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. is the expiration of all my programs on building your wealth, including the stock market psychology course that helps you go from zero to millionaire in the stock market and sends you buy sell alerts when I buy or sell anything. But anyway, look at these futures, folks. The Dow down 0.85%. Compare that to where we were. Remember, the Dow was down 0.03%. This is how we ended Wednesday, right? The S&P 500 was up 0.23%. The NASDAQ, we had technologies doing well again at 0.44%. That was, and that's to the upside, right? That was yesterday. Look at the futures now, folks. The futures, as of right now, 6 p.m. California time, 9 p.m. Eastern, Dow down 0.85. The S&P 500 down 0.73, tech down 0.51, and small cap down 1.46%, with futures volatility here up 4.8%. We're also seeing futures for the German exchange down as well. Why? What is happening? What did China just do? And why are things all of a sudden getting really red? Well, folks, China regulators have just asked DIDI executives to come up with a plan to delist from the United States stock exchanges, specifically the NYSE, citing security concerns, like data security concerns. Now, this is really expected to be punishment for DIDI. Remember, when DIDI IPO'd, it came with a lot of fanfare. It was basically the Chinese version of Uber and Lyft. A lot of folks were excited about the DIDI IPO. They listed the very next day. China launches multiple different investigations into DIDI, leading to a lot of FUD about investing in Chinese companies, because here's China rug pulling an IPO, trying to do this to DIDI. Well, now they're literally pulling the rug out from under them, essentially demanding, and they could change their mind, but essentially right now demanding that DIDI delist from the NYSE. Now, they didn't cite a specific matter of security concerns, but they do want DIDI to get out of the New York Stock Exchange. The Cyberspace Administration of China is directing DIDI to work out a plan. The following two plans are currently being considered. Option number one, take the company completely private. Force the company to pay people the IPO price of $14 for the stock, but not lower, to potentially avoid lawsuits, and take the company private. Alternatively, delist in the United States, float the same shares in the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, the HK, and then this would mean likely listing the shares in the Hong Kong Stock Exchange at the share closing price of $8.11 Wednesday for DIDI. However, we expect a lot of American investors to pull their money out of not just DIDI, but potentially multiple Chinese-related stocks after this. More on that in just a moment. I want to make it very clear. Bloomberg is reporting this news. This is breaking news. China could backtrack, but this is really bad for DIDI. They've had issues with the Chinese government since the IPO. SoftBank and Uber are the largest minority shareholders in the company. And this is also creating concerns that the Chinese-US relations aren't getting better, they're getting worse. Things did calm last week when the president of the People's Republic of China, President Xi Jinping, spoke with Biden virtually, and they spoke amicably about improving relations. But fears were then stoked, only slightly by this, but it didn't help, when Jamie Dimon, the CEO of Chase, began casting doubt that the Chinese Communist Party would even exist long into the future, and joked that the Chinese Communist Party was probably listening. And boy, did the financial community around the world hear about this. This was like the shot heard around the world. Now, we didn't have a massive fallout in Chinese stocks after the Jamie Dimon comment, but there were a lot of concerns like, what's China going to do now? What's China going to do now? Some people are suggesting, here goes China, trying to screw mostly American investors because you know this news is going to create massive FUD around investing in Chinese stocks, creating the potential fear that there are going to be delistings hitting companies. And this is not expected. This is just potential fears that there could be delistings hitting companies like NIO, Alibaba, Xpeng, JD.com, Baidu, Alibaba, and any other Chinese company. It's worth noting that I have completely closed out my NIO share position. I do still have a few options in them, although now I'm really glad to close those out, which always remember, anytime I buy or sell anything, you get those alerts in the Stocks and Psychology of Money group, and that program with lectures, lifetime access on building your wealth does expire tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. But anyway, it's also worth noting this. 5 U.S. lawmakers defy China by meeting with officials in Taiwan. Lot of tension between China and Taiwan. We're not going to go deep onto that right now, but all you need to know is this. When we broke news of our trip yesterday, and this is a Representative Slotkin, she said, quote, "My office received a blunt message from the Chinese embassy telling me to call off the trip." Yeah. The representatives mentioned that they wanted to improve relations with Taiwan, especially regarding the chip shortages and, automobiles or whatever. China does not like this. And so China's known for retaliation, okay? And what an easy way to burn U.S. investors, not just by punishing DIDI, but punishing investors in other Chinese stocks. This, folks, is even harsher of punishment that DIDI is receiving than Tencent or Alibaba have received. And this is very likely to create substantial FUD, and I believe that is exactly why right now we are seeing futures fall. Now, I hope they recover. But right now, tech is actually faring the best, down only 0.57%, Dow down about 0.89, S&P down 0.79, and small caps down about 1.53 for a Black Friday opening tomorrow. Folks, thank you so much for watching this video. I will report any additional updates as they come out. Please have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your friends and your family. Check out the programs on building your wealth down below. I appreciate you. Things are turning red around here, but I'll see you tomorrow morning. Goodbye. Now, also, just a quick follow-up, though. I know I technically already ended the video, but I just want to give a little bit more clarity. If you own shares in Chinese companies, unless for some reason something softens in the news, I would expect Chinese shares to be going down. That is not trying to FUD. I'm reporting the news. I would just anticipate that tomorrow your Chinese shares are going to be down. Whether you want to continue to hodl or potentially buy value in things like Alibaba comes down to your belief in Chinese-U.S. relations improving. Think about it, folks, okay? One of the things that you can consider in this is the United States is pro-crypto. China is not. China feels like it has us over the barrel with chips. The U.S. is encouraging its companies to diversify out of China and go to places like Taiwan or other places to partner with any other country, whether it's Singapore or the Philippines or whatever, just to limit exposure to China. China does not like this. And when you have the CEO of one of the biggest banks, one of the big, probably the biggest out of the top 4 banks in America, making fun of the Chinese Communist Party, China's going to come back at you, especially when your congressmen and women are going to play friends on Thanksgiving with Taiwan, despite the fact that that's not what China wants. So, you don't respect China, these relations aren't going to get any better, and I would not be very bullish on Chinese stocks. Not, again, trying to FUD. I honestly, this is one of the reasons I sold out of NIO. I was very, very skeptical about the next coming weeks with Chinese relations and the Chinese consumer. But anyway, check out those programs. You can get all my alerts. Thanks so much. Goodbye.